So, let me see here. Toronto's top urban
Indo-Guyanese?
Indo-Guyanese fashion model, or the top urban Indo-Guyanese fashion model. Explain the title Indo-Guyanese to me, please.
Indo-Guyanese?
Yes. And just like for the people who don't know what that is.
For the people, okay. Pretty much like Indian descent, you know, like my ancestors are Indian that got shipped on a boat to Guyana. Right? So,
yeah.
Pretty much Indian.
Okay.
You know, some people don't like the term coolie, right?
Yeah.
Like some people would say like, okay, I'm a coolie gal, but, you know, some people might find it offensive because, you know, like, I guess the term for coolie is like a baggage person, like somebody that, I don't know, like, I guess kind of poor? Like,
Is that what it means? I never actually knew
some
that
people
as a
find it
West Indian man.
offensive. Yeah.
I never knew that. Wow. Well, I know people found it offensive.
I personally don't find it like offensive. You know what I'm saying? But like some people do.
Yeah.
They're like, why would you call yourself a coolie? You know? And I'm like it is what it is. Like whatever. But anyways, Indo-Guyanese is I'm Indian.
Yeah. And you were born in Steel City, aka Hamilton. You moved to Saga. What was Woodland Secondary School like?
Yo, that school had no windows. It was like being trapped in a jail cell.
Crazy. Were you like outgoing kid in high school, shy kid?
Was I what?
Like one of the outgoing kids in school, or like one of the shy kids?
I definitely wasn't shy. I guess I would say maybe I was like the popular one, but like I don't know. I guess kind of outgoing. Yeah. But I always had like a bitch face, so some people would be like kind of like intimidated by me, but I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to intimidate people. Like, you know, sometimes people would tell me now, they're like, oh my God, I used to think you were so intimidating. But I'm like, I just be walking around the halls like with a bitch face, just zoning out though. That's the thing. Me in general, like I might look like a bitch, but honestly, like
I don't think so.
Well, fuck, you know me. But like, you know, like some people might find me like looking mean, or they would think I'm mean, you know? Right. But it's like half of the time I'm in a different world and I'm always thinking about a million things. You know, so sometimes I'm not even focusing on what's around me. I'm in a different world. Yeah. You know, but honestly though, like I do miss school. I really do. I miss all my teachers. Some of them. You know?
And even just stay on to school for a quick second, like with Instagram and everything, and they can see like, you know, what you're doing now. Do you have some of your teachers and stuff like that see the things that you're into now, and they're like, they holler at you like, yo, I'm so proud of you. You ever get that?
Yeah, I have my counselor that, you know, I haven't talked to her in so long. I should hit her up. But like, I have my counselor that I used to talk to all the time. You know, I would update her on what I was doing. You know, and it was so funny because when I had graduated, I decided to do the Toronto Sun paper, the Sunshine Girl.
I remember seeing you in the Sun.
Yo, it was so funny because, okay, like at the ending of high school, I was working at Hooters, okay? And, you know, every day I was working at Hooters, I would look at the back of the page to see the girls. Right. And I'm like, yo, I never see Guyanese or Indian girl in the newspaper. I'm like, you know what? When I turn 18, 19, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Nice. You know, when I get my car, you know, that's the first thing I ended up doing. Yeah. Oh my God. I posted up in lingerie. Oh my God. And yo, everybody bought that newspaper. And at that time, my dad was alive and he had a business. He had a whole bar. Oh my God, yo. Yeah. Everybody had the newspaper and everyone's like, look your daughter. Wow. Oh my fucking God, bro. My dad came home. My mom came home. was like, yo, what the fuck is this? I was like, oh, I thought I could hide this. But no, everybody have to go run their mouth.
Aneesa, you can't hide something that's in the Toronto Sun.
No, I know, but I didn't think that, like, you know, they're going to go show my dad or show my mom, you know? You know, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm going to just do what makes me happy.
Yeah.
I was like, obviously my parents are not going to be happy about that. You know, at first they weren't happy about the whole modeling shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm still an Indian gal living at home, you know?
Yeah.
And living in a Caribbean household. They're going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know?
It can get strict.
You know, and like, you know, they don't look at modeling as a job. Like, go to school, take your education, and do this and do that. Have a normal life. Have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, I was never into the whole 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Even like you were speaking with about your father, right? And condolences to him, right?
Yeah.
Your stepdad, right? He died in a car accident years back. Did you ever know your biological father before that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Growing up, my parents, like, you know, my stepdad and my mom would always tell me, like, okay, this is your dad. Like, you know, they would send me to him to, like, spend time, like, you know, like, always be nice to him, regardless of what happened in the past, you know? Even my stepdad would always tell me to respect him regardless of what happened, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, like, even, like, after my dad died, you know, like, I eventually... like, you know, like, start talking to my dad more, start visiting him more. So now we have more of a connection.
A bond, yeah.
Yeah. You know, because, like, I don't have much left. And at the same time, it's like, you know, going through so much, it's like, you really realize how life is so short, you know? And for me, like, I'm a very forgiving person. I don't judge nobody, you know? So, you know, I'm like, okay, this is what it is. Accept it and move on, you know? So.
And, you know, after your stepdad died, it was just you and your mom. What was that experience like at first? Just you and your mom, like...
Okay, like, so my dad died in Guyana in a car accident, right? And, like, you know, my mom and dad both went on vacation and that happened. So they were separate from each other. He went with his own family. She went with her own family.
Okay.
Right? Because she actually went on a different island to go bury somebody. Like one of her, I don't even remember, family member.
Right.
And all of that happened. So like, you know, me, I was busy here. I had to stay here because I was in a pageant. Okay. Right? I was in the Miss West Indian pageant.
Yes. Right?
So I'm like, okay. Like, when I had dropped off my parents, I'm like, yo, like, I really want to come. But I'm like, you know what? Let me finish up this pageant. And I'll come meet you guys in Guyana, you know? And it's so crazy because my dad just looked so distant. And I'm like, you know, I was like, oh, like, that's so weird. But, you know, I didn't pay too much attention to it, you know? And, like, you know, all that happened. Oh, my God. Like, it was just a whole mess, you know? That ended up happening. And, you know, I went down to Guyana and, you know, I buried my dad. And then I think I had came back to Canada by myself. And I remember her telling me that she didn't know how she was going to pay the bills. Because, like, you know, life insurance came off of the house. He had taken it off.
Wow.
Before he died. So nothing was paid for. I know, it sounds crazy, right?
That's crazy. So
nothing was paid for. And, you know, my mom's tripping. She's like, I don't know how we're going to do this. Me, I'm a go-getter. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, all right, tell me the problem. I will fix it. Yeah. You know? So I'm like, all right, bet. Yo, I put out my resume on Kijiji. I took the first job. First job was a burger restaurant. You know, I was flipping burgers and shit. Yeah. I was like, I don't even give a shit. And I even, like, when I did the interview, the man was like, don't you think you're a little too pretty to be working here? I'm like, yo, you think pretty is going to be paying the bills? Because it's not going to do that right now. You know, I'm like, yo, give me this job. Yeah. He's like, all right, see you Monday. You know? Yeah. And then I started working there and, like, you know, I was paying my bills and everything. Yeah. And then I was on Instagram. And this modeling agency had reached out to me. And then, you know, I started working with them. And it's so crazy
So
because...
let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Which modeling agency? Because I was trying to do my research and I couldn't find out which modeling agency was your first one.
Okay, so the first agency was like Enrique modeling agency, but like, yo, they fucked me over. Like, should I say all of that?
You can say whatever you want.
Fuck, what do I even say?
Like, okay, so when a modeling agency gets at you, like, they hit you up on the gram and they're like, yo, we like your pics. Like,
okay, let me start over. Okay, let me start over. Okay, so the modeling agency I had signed with is called Enrique Modeling Agency. So they had reached out to me on Instagram. They actually DM'd me about, like, you know, like signing with them. And I'm like, you know what? Like, why not? Right? Then I ended up signing with them. And then, you know what? At that time, I really, really needed money. And I told myself, like, I won't do anything stupid for money, okay? And I had another agency reach out to me about doing background, like, you know, being an extra in movie sets, right? And, you know, I would tell this lady, yes, yeah, I'll come. Yo, I would never show up on set. I didn't even think it was real. I thought it was a whole scam. Because when you're getting these things, you're only getting the information, the address. There's no number to call. There's nothing. So I'm like, yo, what kind of sketch shit is this? I'm not coming. And then the time where I needed money, there was a set happening like close by to like Saga, Brampton. And I'm like, yo, fuck it. Like, let me go.
Yeah, somewhere close to home.
Somewhere close to home. Like, it's not going to hurt for me to just appear. Like, if I get kidnapped, I get kidnapped. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen in my life at this point, right? And then, yo, I ended up showing up. Yo, this shit was legit. And the first person I ended up seeing on set, do you remember LaToya from Destiny's Child?
Yeah.
Yo, LaToya is like one of my favorite like artists. And I saw LaToya on my first day. I was like, holy shit, this is real. You know? And I was like, oh my God, like, I wish I had done this earlier, you know?
Yeah.
You know? And then oh my God, then when I was working, like at that time I was working at the burger restaurant. And then, you know, I eventually had quit. And then I started doing backgrounds. And then I started getting into music videos. And then I would go on Kijiji. Kijiji also helped me so much in my life. Thank you, Kijiji. No, seriously.
Shout out Kijiji.
Yo, shout out to Kijiji. I've booked so many jobs from Kijiji. I booked my first music video on Kijiji.
Nice.